I met up with Sophia the other day to burn off a few rolls of film, and I'm going to show you the results of that in today's video. Now what I did was I used 3 different types of film and processed it 3 different ways. What I shot this with I shot it with my Bronica SQ using the normal 80mm lens for this camera, and it was a bright and sunny day. And I used just the, normal exposures for those conditions. Now, people are always telling me, hey, Ed, I'm interested in shooting film. You're inspiring me to try out film photography or get back to film photography. But my problem is I don't know where to get the film processed. Now, I understand that feeling because, for a lot of places, depending on where you live, your only option is really like a big box store. And you don't know where they're sending your film out to get processed, because more than likely they don't have, a dedicated crew of film lab professionals working there in the store who are going to handle your film with care. So yeah, I can understand the apprehension. You don't really want to take your precious film over to a big box store, but you don't have many other options, maybe no options in the area that you live in as far as getting your film processed. So if you don't process your film yourself, then your only options are to either find a local lab that you trust, and if you don't have that, then you've got to do it by mail with someone who specializes in film processing. Someone who knows what they're doing are going to process your films the right way. They're going to scan your film so that you can download your images, and if you want, they will send your film back to you so that you'll have the actual negatives. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples of doing that today. Now, none of this is sponsored. These are just my honest opinions, all right? Now, let's start with the first roll of film that I shot. This was the Portra 160 color negative. It was processed by Holland Photo Imaging here in Austin. Now, they've been around for many, many years. They've got a really solid reputation. I'm going to include a link to their site in the video description below. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what they did for me. Now all of the images I'm going to show you were shot in the same place at a local park in about a 45-minute time span, and so we just kind of ran through them real quick. I just wanted to burn off some rolls of film so I could put this video together and sort of give you an idea of what you could get with mail order processing. Okay, so we're going to go through these kind of quick because I don't really like all of them, but you know what I tell myself, when I've only got 12 shots per roll, I only need one picture that I want to be happy with, and if I get that, then all's good. So there's this one, there's this one. And by the way, this is the winner of the roll. This is the one that I'm really happy with. All right, so now we're going to quickly go over the other ones that I'm not really all that impressed with myself, but just for completeness, I'll just show you what they look like. Little hot spot there. All right, so we're going to go back to my favorite one. That's my favorite one. I like it for a lot of reasons: the composition, the hand placement, the leading lines, and the look to the eyes here. I mean, look at this. I like that a lot. That's pretty good. Okay, the next roll is HP5+. Now this is black and white negative film, 400 speed, and this was processed by Dallas Film Lab. I'm also going to put the link for these guys in the description below. Now this is a new service, and I know the people running it, and they are passionate about film photography. They're very active in the film photography community. They love film photographers, and they love what they do, so I know that they'll take good care of you. I wanted to try them out. I sent them a roll of film, and from the same shoot, and this is what I got back. Now I'll tell you what they did was they gave me the scans a little flat, so I had some room to work with as far as getting them into Lightroom. I like to mess with my black and white film a little bit because I'm never quite satisfied with just straight up scans of it. I will mess with the contrast a little bit, and that's what I did here. But we're going to go through this roll. Now I shot this, I must have, it's like 12 shots, must have taken me about half a minute to shoot all of these pictures. So some of them, again, a little out of focus. I'm still learning how to use manual focus on this Bronica, and things are moving. I had Sophia dance around, so it was a lot of just just trying to keep things in focus. It's kind of a challenge to do with the Bronica when you're so used to that automatic focus on your DSLR. So I've got to work on my chops there. But anyway, so let's take a look at these pictures. What I did was, like I said, I boosted the contrast and a little vignette. It's a little preset that I have for my black and white negatives. And so I just applied it here, and it just came out really, really nice, just like this. And so here we go. Just playing with flare a little bit. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think this would have worked out nicely with the color film. Yeah, some of these didn't turn out too bad. See, here's an example of where I might boost the contrast a little bit more and the exposure. Anyway, you can play around with it in Lightroom, once you get your scans back. And that's what I did here. So yeah, some pretty good stuff, I think. Anyway, that's Dallas Film Lab. They're new. Go check it out. That's Javi and Matthew. They'll take care of you. The link is in the description below. All right, so like I said, we shot 3 different types of film, and we processed them 3 different ways. One way was Holland Photo Imaging. The other way was Javi and Matthew over at Dallas Film Lab. And the third way was me. I'm using the Tri-X. It's black and white negative, 400 speed. This is like, what is this film? It's like 40 years old, 50 years old. I mean, not the actual roll of film that I used, but the formula for the film, the actual film. I think it's gone through some changes over the years, but it's a classic film. Photojournalists have used it for many years. I think I probably started off on Tri-X back in the day. Now, I processed this here at home, quick and dirty, like I used to do it when I was a stringer for a newspaper back when I was a kid, where you just, I shot a lot of sports. I went to football games, high school football games. I shot the pictures, ran home during the game, processed the film, made prints just as fast as I could. We're not doing anything archival quality at the time. It was just get these things out. And so that's kind of how I developed this roll of film. So yeah, maybe I wanted to see if I could still do it the quick and dirty way, or maybe I was just being lazy. Who knows? It was probably the lazy thing. Let's just run through these real quick. This was the last roll of film that I shot, so I'm showing you this stuff in order. Now, how did I scan these? I'm pretty sure I've done a video on how I digitize my own medium format negatives. So I'll put a link to that up here if I can find that video here on YouTube, and go ahead and check that out, and you'll see how I digitize these negatives. If I can't find that link, I'm going to link it up to somebody else who's done this. So let's go ahead and run through these and see what we got. That one's pretty nice. Now, one thing that I wish I hadn't done, this would have been okay in color, but in black and white, when you've got all these different tones, this is just really busy. It's a really busy background. So we don't have that color contrast where, she's got dark hair and then the stuff behind her is, it's got a combination of rust colors and greens. So it just all kind of blends in together like this. So yeah, a little bit busy. That one's pretty nice. So anyway, off of this roll, let's see what would be my favorite. I think that one's a nice one. That one's okay. It's got its own little feel about it. That one's nice. I think there are a few here that I like. Maybe this one. This one might be my favorite. It's got some nice backlighting here, nice expression. Just very happy. The rest of these are they're kind of cool, but just a little too busy. So yeah, maybe this one, or one of these. I don't know, you tell me. All right, so that was 3 different types of film developed 3 different ways. Now, if you don't want to develop your own film, then have someone good do it for you. Don't just trust it to anyone. Find someone good, reputable, get some good referrals or recommendations. And yeah, it's not a big deal to have, to send it out via regular mail. And get it in the right hands. You know, if you haven't shot film in a long time, then why not break out the old film camera and shoot some film? It's a lot of fun. You know it's a lot of fun. You remember. If you've never shot film before, I think now is a good time to give it a try. Obviously, you can get your film developed, you know, at some reputable places. I've just shown you a couple of them. Hey, and if you're adventurous enough, you can learn to process your own film too, especially black and white. It's not that hard to do, and it's really rewarding. So hey, look guys, that's about all I've got for you today. I want to thank you for hanging out with me. Make sure you leave a comment below so we can talk about this. If you haven't already, go ahead and click subscribe. And if you like this video, click that like button. Let me know that you liked it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.